Why hello there, Dwarf Leader. You're offering me a drink? Trying to get me drunk, eh? Forget about it. Let's do this. What's up guys, Rogue9 here, and today I have a little bit of a change of pace for you. While I do consider myself a fairly serious gamer, there are situations now and then where it's just not practical to be lugging around a laptop or gaming console. So I do find myself now and then also indulging in some mobile games. And with the increased computing power of our phones and tablets, some of these games are actually becoming pretty good. So with this new series, I will be sharing with you some of my best experiences on handheld games. Up first, as my time waster of the month for July, is The Last Vikings. I would classify this game as a pixel art action RPG. And I would split the gameplay into 4 different categories: sea battles, land battles, PvP battles, and an RPG element. The sea battles are your main form of progress. You will need to take to the seas and coordinate your crew's rowing as well as fight off enemies in order to progress in the game and get to areas that are increasingly difficult but also drop more valuable loot. For every meter that you travel as well, you will gain experience points which will allow you to level up your main character. Each sea battle ends with an attack on a village where you first have to break through the gates, and once you have done that, you unlock the land battle. Every raid on a village will also yield 3 types of resources: gold, construction materials you will need to build new ships, and either a weapon or new Viking recruits. You can later on equip up to 4 different weapons which will increase your stats for either sea or land battles, and the recruits are important to man your ship and also to support your heroes during land battles. Let me take you over to the village and show you the armory. Here you can view a full list of all the weapons you've gathered so far and those that you have not gathered yet. Each weapon increases your stats in either attack, evade, or critical hit chance. As you can see on the left hand side, I currently have 4 weapons selected that are very strong in attack. This is very useful for the later and more difficult sea battles, while if you're going into a land battle, it makes sense to balance out the stats a bit more. When you collect duplicate weapons of the same type, you have the option to either sell the duplicates and receive other resources, or to go to the forge and combine the 2 weapons to make a stronger version of this weapon. And while we are here, why not take a quick look over at our heroes? Here again you have the full list of the heroes that you already own and those that you have not managed to discover yet. Each hero has a unique combination of attack, evade, and critical hit skill points, and almost all of them have a special ability for sea battles, while some of them occasionally have a special attack for land battles. And since during land battles you can use multiple heroes, it's worth leveling up a good few of them. And speaking of land battles, why don't we go over and take a closer look at them? Before heading into battle, you can manage your siege tower. Here you will be able to upgrade your barracks, which will give you more recruits to take into battle. You can upgrade your heroes' quarters, which will allow you to take in more heroes. You can work with your strategists to increase the speed of your battle cursor, and you can train your recruits to upgrade their stats and make each individual one more useful in battle. Once in the battle, you'll be able to boost your combat stats as well as the cursor speed, and landing on the same booster 3 times in a row will allow you to perform special attacks to deal extra damage to the enemies as well as gain some experience. After defeating the boss at the end of each land battle, you will again be able to get your hands on some loot, gold, building materials, and recruits as before, but instead of gaining weapons this time, you have the chance to discover either new heroes or pets. The game does have a certain online PvP element in the form of being able to raid the villages of either random players or your friends. The resources you are able to gain from this though are fairly limited, and I have to say it all just feels a little bit tacked on. There are some weekly special events which are a little bit more substantial. Every weekend you will have limited timed events where you compete in sea battles to see who can go the furthest. You have the opportunity to compete for tiered rewards which increase in value the higher you rank in the online scoreboard. Having a well-developed main character, a large ship, and some great attacking weapons is crucial if you want to finish towards the top. The game also aims at bringing players back in on a daily basis by offering tiered and increasing rewards. The game does have a premium currency which can only be earned through the daily rewards and by finding a special character in the solo adventure, but so far I've not really seen much use for this currency. The most important thing in my eyes is to be able to level up your heroes, but the currency won't help you with that. The premium currency can only really be used for 3 things: gaining resources and gold, as well as heroes and weapons. Spending your premium currency on resources and gold to me makes no sense, especially since the later levels drop so much of these that you just really won't need to. The only thing that really makes sense is trying to get your hands on a unique weapon or hero. But the thing is that a single weapon isn't that useful, you need multiple to be able to forge them together to actually have something good, and a hero only becomes useful once you level him up. And to top it all off, the hero you just saw me unlock now is one I've owned for quite a while already, so that was a waste. I think I can safely say that I have never and will never buy any of the premium currency. So in summary, I have to say I've played this game a lot and I've enjoyed it a lot. As such, I would rate it as a great little way to waste your time for a few weeks, or maybe even a couple of months. The one big point where this game kind of falls down is longevity. During the first few weeks of gameplay, when you're constantly upgrading your ship, finding new heroes, leveling up those heroes, finding more and more weapons and leveling up those weapons, there's a strong incentive that just keeps you coming back for those little successes day by day. But later on in the game, the loot drops become less and less frequent, and leveling up your characters becomes a nightmare. On an average run during a sea battle, you can probably make around 550 experience points per minute, and with a brand new hero, that's not too bad. Leveling up for 1 star takes a total of 5,500 experience points, which you have to travel by sea, so that's about 10 minutes of playing. Getting to star 2 already requires 65,000, that's still doable. Getting your character to the 3rd star takes a massive 382,500 experience points, which is around 11.5 hours of puttering across the sea. And even though I've sunk far more time into this game than any sane person should, I've still not managed to reach that elusive 3rd star. And it goes up to 5. Of course, fixing this could be relatively easy. Either reduce the amount of experience it takes to get to the higher levels, or implement a system where harder levels just give you far more experience. Whatever the case, as long as this isn't fixed, after you've played a couple of months, your game will start to stagnate and you will make hardly any progress from there on forward. With that in mind, I can say that this game has cute graphics, fun music, and for a time, it will give you enough of an incentive to play to be labeled as a nice little time waster. I'm thinking of making a monthly series where I review different little mobile games. If you want to see more of this type of content, leave a thumbs up, and if you have any great recommendations for mobile games, put them in the comments below. And as always guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next episode.